Hey everyone, how's it going? Mike here, and today we've got a special deck. I've been working on this deck for a bit of time now, and I think it's finally ready to showcase. We still need a few tweaks here and there, but anyways, what we've got a deck built around is the Victreebel with the Wafting Scent Ability. Now, this Pokemon has never really seen a lot of play just because it's quite difficult to bring out stage 2 Pokemon, especially with the rampant Seismitoad EX, so it just wasn't really feasible to run any sort of deck revolving around Victreebel. It does have the Wafting Scent ability, which I think is really cool. It allows us to poison and confuse the opponent's active Pokemon, but we do have to give up a Grass Energy card in case we do want to take advantage of this Pokemon special ability. Now, luckily for us, with the release of the Ancient Origin set, we actually see the Forest of Giant Plants. So this allows each player's Grass-type Pokemon to evolve during the first turn that we played down those Pokemon. So now we see the Victreebel as potentially being a very powerful Pokemon. So we are running a total of 4 copies of the Forest of Giant Plants, and that's mainly for the sake of consistency. It's really going to help out our deck, so that's why it is there. Our main attacker is going to be the Mega Manectric EX. It has the Turbo Bolt attack, hitting for massive amount of damage, and only 2 energy cards, so very energetically efficient and very powerful Pokemon as well. We see the Turbo Bolt hitting for 110 damage, and simultaneously it will allow us to attach 2 basic energy cards from our discard pile onto one of our bench Pokemon. Of course, that Pokemon is gonna be the Victreebel. So the Mega Manectric EX is a built-in energy retrieval machine, which works absolutely fantastically in combination with that Victreebel. I mean, we don't need to dedicate deck space to cards such as the energy retrieval, the super energy retrieval, anything like that. Nope, Mega Manectric EX has that absolutely taken care of. We also, of course, have 3 copies of the Manectric EX, mainly for us to evolve it into the Mega Manectric EX. But again, Manectric EX, not a Pokemon that should be underestimated. Assault Laser can hit for a massive 120 damage, provided that our opponent's active Pokemon has a Pokemon tool card attached to it. And of course, we have the Overrun attack, which can allow us to snipe off some of the opponent's benched Pokemon. We also have, of course, 2 copies of the Dragalgae, which has the Poison Barrier ability. Now, this will prevent our opponent's poison Pokemon from being able to retreat, and that just makes the Wafting Scent ability that much more deadly, the poisoned and confused state that much more potent. So Dragalgae really goes a long way in this deck. We are running 2 copies of that, and of course we are running a total of 2 copies of the Shaman EX. It has the setup ability. It can be a bit of a liability for a Pokemon, but I feel like its benefits far outweigh the risks, and it definitely has helped me set up nice and early a lot of times. Shaman EX has definitely pulled through for us a lot of times when we had absolutely dead hands, so I would highly recommend you guys run them. In our case, we are running a total of 2 copies of this card. Now, getting on to some of the item cards in our deck, actually I want to discuss the energies first. We have a total of 3 copies of the Flash energy card, and this will give our Mega Manectric EX no longer any sort of weakness, so this will allow us to have a fighting chance against those fighting decks, which is absolutely fantastic. So we are running 3 copies of the Flash Energy, a total of 4 Grass Energies mainly to be used on that Victreebel, and a total of 2 Lightning Energies as well. We are running the Escape Rope and a Switch card. It's just nice for us to be able to freely retreat in between our Pokemon, especially if the Victreebel happens to get Lysandered out. We have the Evosoda, a card that is going to be helpful pretty much regardless of the situation. We are running a total of 3 evolution lines, a total of 21 Pokemon, which is quite a bit. So believe me that Evosoda works wonders in this deck. We are running a single copy of that. We're also running a total of 4 copies of the Ultra Ball and of a Level Ball, which will allow us to grab pretty much all of the Pokemon that we need. The Sacred Ash, early on in the game, we often tend to send a couple of our Pokemon into that discard pile because we use cards such as the Ultra Ball, bring out the Shaman EXs, things like that, Sycamore. So Sacred Ash really does go a long way in this deck. We are running a single copy of that, and I feel like those are mainly the cards that really needed discussing, guys. We have the Starling Megaphone, which will allow us to get rid of any Pokemon tool cards attached to the opponent's Pokemon. 3 VS Seekers to reuse any of our supporters, a total of 8 Draw Supporter cards, 1 Ace Trainer, 3 Professor Birches, and 4 Sycamores, 2 Lysanders to lure out any of the opponent's bench Pokemon, and of course a total of 3 Manectric Spirit Links, just so that we don't have to give up any of our turns whenever we do bring out those Mega Manectric EXs. So with that, guys, let us go and see what this deck is capable of. Again, I've been actively tweaking it and playing around with it here and there. May still need a couple of improvements, but it's pretty good for the most part. Okay, so based on our opponent's deck composition, I'm going to assume that we are facing a Night March deck, and awesome, looks like we're going to be able to start off first. So no Pokemon just yet, and okay, Bellsprout. Alright. Alright, not exactly the greatest start. We don't have anything useful, so let's hope we draw into something useful, and looks like it's going to be a Shaman EX that we're going to see right away. I'm going to go and attach the Grass Energy card onto that Bellsprout, and unfortunately, I can't do anything else, so I'm going to say thank you to the opponent and wish them good luck. And I hope we see an N. I hope I draw into a Sycamore, a Professor Birch's Observation. But this is a pretty terrible start. We're going to see that Ultra Ball, a Psychic Energy card going into that discard pile. I'm assuming we're going to see, okay, so Manectric EX. Alright, so maybe our opponent is not running a Night Merge deck. It definitely doesn't seem like that's the case any longer. An Ultra Ball would be helpful as well, guys. I need something that I can work with. Because this is a pretty terrible start that we are having right now. So let's see what our opponent decides to do. Again, I would love to see an N. I mean, N is just so much better than the Ace Trainer. Out of all of the battles that I've had, guys, I can't tell you how much I miss N whenever I do make these XY videos and on. N is so nice, believe me. It's much better than the Professor Birch's Observation, and at least 10 times better than the sorry, what's it called? The Ace Trainer as well. I'm sorry, but I really don't like that Ace Trainer that much. It's just way too dependent on the situation. Not really sure why our opponent conceded the game. Maybe their game lagged, or maybe they got kicked out of their computer or something. Again, I'm not entirely sure. But we did have a pretty terrible start. So let's hope for something a little bit better this time around. Okay, so we're going to be facing a Grass and Dragon type deck. I'm going to go and assume that is the Giratina EX deck. We'll see how things go. So I'm going to start off with the Manectric EX as our active Pokemon. Yes, so we're going to see that Hydreigon EX. Yes, in fact, I'm almost 90% sure that is going to be the case. Let us go and use that Ultra Ball, get rid of these Pokemon. I'm going to go and look for the Bellsprout, which is of course the Pokemon that I'd like to bring out nice and early. Do we only have one Bellsprout? Oh my goodness, I think we have 2 Bellsprouts prized, guys. Yes, we have 2 Bellsprouts prized. Hopefully I can bring them out nice and early. Let us go and use that Professor Birch's Observation. Get the tails. That's unfortunate, but I'm going to have to go and end the turn. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see Hydreigon EXs, and then we're going to see Giratina EX, and of course the Vileplume line as well. Hopefully I can use the Evosoda beforehand. We're going to see the Lysander, but I don't think any of our opponent's Pokemon should be able to attack just yet. So yes, awesome. Alright, so we do have the Evosoda. I'll definitely be able to make use of that. So let us go and force both our Pokemon to retreat. Hopefully I can knock out that Oddish, and let us go and bring out the Weepinbell. Hopefully I can get the Force of Giant Plants as well. Let us go and use that Sycamore. And okay, so I don't have sorry, what's it called? The Victreebel just yet, but I'm gonna go and use that level ball to look for a Scrub. Just a very useful Pokemon to have. Let's go and attach a Lightning Energy card. I'm gonna hold off on the Mega Manectric EX because I don't think we're gonna be seeing it a whole lot in this game, since our opponent is running a Giratina EX deck. Again, I'm almost 90% sure that that is the case. So let's actually go and look for that Shaman EX and see if we can get anything useful in our hand. And okay, we have the Force of Giant Plants. I should have definitely looked for the sorry, what's it called? The Victreebel instead. I guess let's go and attach the Manectric Spirit Link just in case we do see the Headringer. I'm gonna go and use the Sacred Ash. Let's go and recycle these Pokemon, put them back into our deck. I'm gonna go and use that VS Seeker. Look for that Sycamore in case we do see the item lock potentially. I mean, it's definitely possible. Let's go and use Assault Laser, 60 damage, knocking out the opponent's Oddish and drawing onto our very first prize card. Alright, so hopefully we can bring out that Victreebel during our next turn and put our opponent's Pokemon in a poisoned and confused state. So we do have the Dragalgae, so most of the pieces in our deck are now ready to go. Let's go and use that Sycamore for a brand new hand. What? Come on, no Victreebel, guys? Oh my god. Alright, let's just go and use that Assault Laser for 60 damage and hope that we don't see a Muscle Band. Otherwise, our Manectric EX might just be losing its life. Yeah, so we do see the Giratina EX. Awesome. Looks like we're going to be able to at least survive for now. So I'm going to bring out the Victreebel, of course. I could evolve into the Mega Manectric EX. I mean, it only has 10 HP, so you know what? That may actually pay off. Oh, sorry, I already have the Manectric Spirit Link. Yeah, so let's actually evolve it into the Mega Manectric EX. We don't actually have any of our basic energy cards in that discard pile just yet. I could Lysander out that Giratina EX. Again, we don't see any Stadium cards. Should I do that? You know what? I think that's actually what I'm gonna go and do, guys. So let's actually go and Lysander out that Giratina EX. I'm gonna go and use Turbo Bolt. Unfortunately, no energy. All right, it's completely immune to our Mega Pokemon. How foolish of me. I forgot. I thought it was part of the effects of its attack, but it wasn't. And of course, now I'm paying the price for that. So I'm gonna go and attach the Grass Energy card onto that Victreebel. We're gonna go and Lysander out the opponent's Hydreigon EX, and we'll definitely be able to knock it out during this turn. Let's go and use Wafting Scent, and then we can go right ahead. Use Turbo Bolt to knock out the opponent's Hydreigon EX, and simultaneously retrieve that Grass Energy card to latch on to that Victreebel once again. So. Alright, so we have one more Bellsprout. I definitely will be bringing that out. Our opponent is, of course, playing it smart by bringing out that Giratina EX. For some reason, I haven't seen him bring out any of the Forest of Giant Plants, but I definitely don't want to make use of it either, because that's going to help out our opponent. And I think we may just see the item lock from here on out, guys. Are we going to see it? Yes, we will. The Shaman EX, allowing the opponent to draw into some additional cards. Unfortunately, I've already used both of our Lysanders, so I will no longer be able to make use of that. So let's actually go and bring out a Manectric EX. Let's bring out the Bellsprout as well. I don't really want to give up our entire hand, so I'm actually going to go with the Professor Birch's Observation. And awesome, looks like we are going to get a heads. Let's go and use Wafting Scent. I'm going to go and use Turbo Bolt. No damage at all, but I'm going to go and retrieve that Grass Energy card and latch it on to that Manectric EX. So now all I need is either a Flash Energy or a a Lightning Energy card, and I'll be able to start hitting that Giratina EX for a fairly large amount of damage. So the Giratina EX's main way in which it can actually retreat in between those Pokemon are through the usage of those Hydreigon EXs, and our opponent doesn't have any, and of course we have the Dragalgae, so things are not going to look all that good for our opponent. Yes, you know what, I'm going to go for that Sycamore, guys. Hopefully I don't regret it, but you know what, I'm already somewhat regretting it, but it's okay. I mean, there's not a whole lot I can do about that. Let's go and attach the Flash Energy, retreat that Mega Manectric EX, and bring out our benched Manectric EX. Let us go and use the Assault Laser, hitting our opponent's Giratina EX for 60 damage, and that is it. So should be able to knock it out during our next turn. Even if our opponent's Giratina EX does attack us, there's a possibility it can knock itself out, but it looks like our opponent is not going to be taking that risk. Very understandable. Again, our deck, I mean, that Confusion Lock is definitely very, very potent. We are going to see that Sycamore. So yeah, our opponent is not doing well at all at this point. I'm going to go and attach a Grass Energy card onto that Victreebel. We do want to have a Wafting Scent ready to go. Let's go and use Assault Laser, knock out the opponent's Giratina EX, and draw onto 2 prize cards. So we're absolutely crushing our opponent at this point, guys. Again, really, really foolish of me to Lysander out that Giratina EX early on, but it's okay. I mean, I still think we can make a comeback. Hopefully I can take advantage of the Wafting Scent during our next turn. I believe so I've actually gotten rid of the remainder of those Victreebels and send them into our discard pile, but that's okay. I'm not particularly worried about that. Looks like our opponent is going to temporarily break the item lock. So let's see what item cards he's going to make use of. So we're going to see a Muscle Band, another Muscle Band, no Double Dragon Energy just yet. Oh man, so I'm thinking our opponent may actually not have a Double Dragon Energy. So let's see if he's going to bring out the item lock once again. I think he will, because I mean, of course, the item lock is quite potent, yeah. So, but keep in mind that our opponents attaching the Muscle Band onto that Giratina EX may not have been all that wise of an option, because of course it allows us to hit for more damage using the Assault Laser. So I'm definitely going to make use of the Wafting Scent. Let's go and attach a Grass Energy card. Wafting Scent by giving up one of those Grass Energy cards, and now our opponent will no longer be able to retreat unless we do see that AZ. So I mean, I don't think he's gonna make a comeback. I mean, there is the item lock going on. He can't take advantage of cards such as Switch. All he can do is just repeatedly AZ. And how many AZs do we actually see in that discard pile? Okay, just one. I'm assuming our opponent is probably running at least one more in his Giratina EX deck, but things are not looking good for him. He hasn't been able to snatch up a single prize card right now. So let's go and attach one more Grass Energy card onto that Victreebel again. Wafting Scent is just very, very important. Let's go and use Assault Laser, 60 damage one more time, and if we don't see an AZ, we're going to be able to win the game. Just a flawless victory. Our opponent getting dangerously close to knocking out that Mega Manectric EX, but unfortunately not close enough. Okay, so yeah, looks like I was right. We're going to see that AZ, but it's okay. There's no shortage of energy cards. Let us go and use Wafting Scent one more time. Assault Laser for 60 damage. How many AZs is our opponent really running in their deck? I don't think it's enough, but we are getting dangerously close to decking out. So I'm hoping that's not what our opponent is hoping for as well. But he's gonna need at least one more AZ. So please tell me that he does not have 3 AZs or 4 AZs in his deck. I mean, that would just be absolutely shocking. And sorry about that, and I'm gonna go and say GG to our opponent, because this is going to be game. Okay, so one more AZ. Okay, so it looks like he actually has 3 AZs, maybe even more in his deck. I may have said a premature GG. Alright, so I'm gonna go and use the Wafting Scent Ability. I may actually have to retreat that Manectric EX and bring out the Mega Manectric EX. So let us go and use Assault Laser for 60 damage. And hopefully we don't see another AZ, guys, because man, those AZs are really starting to get annoying at this point. And yeah, so that is absolutely true. So whoops, let me type that properly, and there we go. So yeah, so I mean, it's definitely true. The one thing about the Giratina EX decks is that it's really powerful, but it seems to be quite inconsistent. I mean, someone needs to make a more consistent sort of Giratina EX deck. And let us go and attack with the Assault Laser one more time. Should be able to win this time again, unless we see our opponent pull out one more EZ. Then that could actually mean that we lose the game. But I don't think he has one. I mean, if he does, then you know what? You've earned yourself a very well-deserved victory. So again, Giratina EX can't even attack us just yet. He would have needed at least a double Colorless Energy or one more double Dragon Energy. So we're going to see him undo his turn, but I do believe that we have won the game. So if that's the case, and yeah, so I guess he's realizing that he doesn't actually have enough energy cards to be able to attack that Giratina EX. Oh, actually, sorry, he wanted to retreat that Giratina EX, but of course he just realized that the Dragalgae was there. So that's precisely why we run the Dragalgae, guys. As you guys can see, it's definitely paying off here. And my goodness, just dangerously close to us decking out. But it looks like we're going to be able to snag a victory. So let's go and actually say GG properly to our opponent this time. And then use Assault Laser, 60 damage, knocking out that Giratina EX. And that is going to be game. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also be sure to check out my previous videos and a random video as well. And again, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please be sure to do so. Show me your love and support. And that is going to be it, guys. So thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.